The Lord saw this problem way before we even knew we had an issue. Before we even had a chance to pray about it, it had already gotten resolved. That was a blessing. That was a huge testimony because I was all upset and I didn't want to go out there. And the plan was already laid to take care of us before we even knew that we needed to be taken care of. I was doing technical support for this company back in the mid-90s. Normally I get off around 5:30. This is a Friday, so I'm trying to get out of there as quick as I can. So 5:29, a client calls with a problem, a technical issue. My boss comes running after me saying, Kevin, hey, we got this problem with this client. Can you go and help him? I'm like, oh, and I was upset. 5:29, so, and this is like a long way away. It's in Arlington, so it's like a journey from here. From where I was, out by the ballpark where the Rangers play at. So I got baseball traffic because it was a game that night, and then it's just regular traffic. And this guy was shooting high school football highlight show, and he needed to have his intercom up and going in a, I guess around 9 o'clock or so is when his show started. So I rushed down there. And I got there on time finally. I see the guy, he's like, hey, he's happy to see me. He tells me, go on in, and we get it solved. We get the problem worked out. I was surprised and I was happy and we were blessed. But that's not the end of the story. The very next Friday, our boss was pretty happy with the way things had been going, and he said, hey, let's go see a Rangers game. So we're like, yeah, great, let's go out to the ballpark. So we headed back out to the ballpark. Rush hour traffic, baseball traffic, and we got there kind of late, and all the parking spaces were gone. So we had to park at this industrial lot across the street from the ballpark. Yeah, bad idea. So we parked, we went to the game, and then when we came back from the game, it's dark and our car is gone. I mean, it just ain't there. The car is gone. And so we're looking around like, what are we gonna do? So we're stranded. Like I said, it's the mid-90s and we didn't have cell phones back then. We just had pagers. But I looked around the place and I was like, man, this place looks familiar. And I couldn't remember where I'd seen it before, but when it got dark, it just looked totally different. This is familiar and I've been here. I know I've been here before. So I said, hey fellas, follow me. So we walked around to the back of the lot. We didn't see a soul, but we saw this one building with the light still on. And I said, I knew exactly where I remembered it from. This was the exact same place I was at the Friday before. So we go inside the building. And the guy is still in the middle of the production because the high school football games don't end till 9. The highlight shows start rolling in at about 9:30. So he was in the middle of his production. Go in there, knock on the door, and there he was. And I was like, oh man. So I explained to him what was going on and about the baseball game and the parking lot. And he's like, oh, you got your car towed, didn't you? So he let us in, and he had his intern take my boss over to an ATM to get some money. And then he took him to the lot to pick up the car while we sat in the green room eating cake, looking at high school football highlights, and drinking Coca-Cola. And I'm thinking to myself, God is good.